Walking down Bussy Highway now towards Park Ridge with my Frankenstein shirt, Glenn Strange Frankenstein, and I'm walking Burger King there. Excuse me. And I was where A&P used to be over there where Talbot says, that used to be the A&P, and I met the Wilson Giant in there when I was 8 years old. That guy's like about 8 foot and 8.5 feet. His shoes are huge. I got my picture taken with a Wilson Giant, man. Got his autograph. Wilson meats, you know, like bacon and stuff. Yeah, he died, oh man, like 20 years ago. Yeah, they had bone disease, you know, acromegaly, I think, some kind of bone disease. Anyway, he was a nice guy. I mean, I was about 8 years old back in 1964. But I want to say, like, there's a new documentary out called, no, it's a movie by John Goldstein, who was the first guy to invite me to be on a TV show on his lunch meat, which was televised or recorded at Glenbrook North High School in Glenview, near Northbrook, Illinois. And John Goldstein and Judd Resnick and Adam Pike interviewed me for their show back in '94. This was like 2-3 years before I was live on WGN Morning News for the first time, talking about my monster movies. This was called Lunch Meat. Anyway, John Goldstein did a movie on me called Attack of the Rock. And I sort of make love to an inflatable doll. But I got my clothes on. There's no nudity on just my chest. I had my pants on. And I was pretending like I was getting it on with this rubber inflatable doll that he picked up. And I'm chasing his girlfriend around, one of his college girls' friend, one of his buddies' girlfriends or whatever, around the apartment. I'm chasing the girls wearing these different monster masks and stuff, werewolf mask, an old man mask. And in one scene, she bops me in the head with a pan when I'm chasing her. I got an long old man face on, a long beard, and I'm chasing her, and she goes, ah! I'm grabbing her, and she hits me in the head with a pan, and it really hit me. It hurt. She didn't hold it back enough, and it was like tap, but it hurt. Ow. But, you know, she was like a Asian woman. She was beautiful. She reminded me of some of the girls I used to date in the Philippines when I was in Subic Bay. That's when I lost my virginity in the Marines. Not doing the movie John Goldstein, I didn't lose. I lost my virginity, like, we're talking in 1977. Years before I even knew these guys existed. This is before they were even born. Before Goldstein was even born. But, yeah, but you know, I used to date the Philippine women. And it was a Philippine woman that took away my virginity, and I enjoyed it, and I'm very proud of that because I become a man, like that kid says on Seinfeld. When he kisses Elaine, he goes, I'm a man. He just comes up to Elaine and French kisses her. And he started telling all his friends about it. So she started getting all these invites from his school buddies, you know, to come to their bar mitzvahs. It was a bar mitzvah. Where this Jewish kid kisses her, you know. That's cute. That's a great episode. Oh, Seinfeld's got a lot of good episodes. Yeah, I watch it almost every night. Well, lately I haven't because it's on the same time as Perry Mason. And I like Perry Mason. I watch a little bit of Seinfeld every night. But anyway, back to what I was saying. John Goldstein did a movie called Attack of the Rock with his friend Jim Anderson. Big Jim Boy, who's out in San Diego, Hollywood now. Hollywood, California. California as in Boris Karloff, you know, Frankenstein. But that's the Glenn Strange Frankenstein. Glenn Strange was the monster after Karloff and Lon Chaney and Bela Lugosi. Bela Lugosi was the monster in Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman. But, Glenn Strange was a monster in House of Frankenstein, House of Dracula, and Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. That was this one. Anyway, but back to what I was saying about, I was telling you about the monster movie, you know, John Goldstein did this movie called Attack of the Rock with Jim Anderson, and Jim Anderson played my son, and I was coming back to see him after many years, and I come knock on the door, he's like, hey Jim, remember me? This is your dad. Just thought I'd stop by and say hi, you know, and maybe stay about a day. Well, a day turned into 2 days, and then a week, and then a month, and I just wouldn't leave. I was freeloading off my son, my illegitimate son. And I just sort of made ad-lib throughout the movie, and I started making stuff up, and I said, your dear mom, bless her soul, you know, I loved her, and I rammed her. Meaning I had sex with her. That's my word for having sex, ramming you. And I go, I met your mom in the Philippines. That was not in the script. I just made that up off the top of my head. Because, I had girls in the Philippines. That's where I lost my virginity in the Marines when I was stationed at Civic Bay, Company B Marine Barracks from 77 to 78 in the PI, Philippine Islands. That's what PI means. Not Magnum PI as in private investigator, but the PI. That means the Philippines, Philippine Islands. Or RP, meaning Republic of the Philippines. That's really the correct initials. RP, meaning Republic of the Philippines. Anyway, back to what I was saying, because it's a republic, actually. Anyway, so I told Jim Boy, I say, your dear mom, bless her soul, we made love together. And I rammed her. And she had you. And I said, I didn't mean to leave her, but, things, that's the way things turned out. But you and your mom and I, we had good times together. We had good times together. And I told him, I say, hey, you look funny. I say, hey, you look funny. I haven't seen you in a while. I say, are you still a virgin? I say, hey, man, you got to give the women what they want. You got to show them some affection. You got to ram the chicks. So that's the word he remembers when we got interviewed for Psychobabble by Mike Preston, comedian, my buddy, who was an extra in Groundhog Day with me. That's when he first met me back in '92 when we were extras in Groundhog Day out in Woodstock, Illinois. And Mike Preston had me on his show, and he invited those guys because Jim Anderson now is doing a rockumentary about me, a documentary on David the Rock Nelson called The Rockumentary. That's the next documentary. It was actually the first one we started doing in 2004. But then Chris Kaler came around with Franklin Wales from Florida, Chris Kaler from Chicago. He videotaped the documentary Can't Stop the Rock Nelson. Can't Stop the Rock. So that was finished first, even though it was started 2 years later, finished in like 2007, and then those guys from California, Horrorwood, California, what's his name? Jace Whitman, filmmaker, and his buddy. Hey, this guy looks like Roger Corman. And hey, how's it going? Hey, it's Big Bill. This is Big Bill Clinton right here. How's it going, Big Bill?
It's hard to recognize it with my head on. You can't see my big hair,
Yeah. So did you just jog up to Burger King or McDonald's and then get your Big Mac and then walk here to get your exercise?
I never walk between big meals. I like to get a big appetite and drive everywhere. Go to drive through.
Oh, yeah, that's what Big Bill liked to do.
I don't like to walk. I don't like to.
Yeah, that's what Big Bill used to do.
I got heart troubles. I need the ride. I can't be walking.
Yeah, that's the guy that looks like Roger Corman and Big Bill Clinton. Hey, I'll see you, man. Yeah, all right. So anyway, like I say in the documentary, we're on the Psychobabble show in 2005, and Mike Preston interviewed us about this new documentary that Jim Anderson was doing. We just got back from Pittsburgh. Jim Anderson's buddy, Steve Hitchcock from Chicago, the cameraman, who filmed like about 35 hours or more of me talking and up on stage at the Monster Bash convention. That's this annual Monster Bash convention down in Pennsylvania near Pittsburgh. And it's going to be in Mars this summer, Mars, Pennsylvania, this July 19th to 21st, 2013. Proof that the world can end, because we got to bash the Monster Bash. And I'm going to do my annual traditional rock talk again, as I always do every year. Introduce a movie. So anyway, we're in Park Ridge on Bussy High Road right outside the Jewel. But anyway, so we got interviewed on Psychobabble with Mike Preston, comedian. And Jim Anderson, the director, was telling him about the movie. And Steve Hitchcock was up there, the cameraman. And he asked Jim Anderson, about the movie. And Jim Anderson said, well, one line I remember especially that Rock said during the movie was, when I played his son in John Goldstein's movie, Attack of the Rock, where I play his son. And he came up to me and he says, you gotta ram the chicks. That's what he said. And his co-host, what's her name, Casey Cannon, she's smiling, she liked that, She probably fantasizes out like maybe she wanted a piece of The Rock. I think she did at that time, at that point. I gotta shut up. I gotta behave myself because I'm going in the Jewel. But that was a funny line in the movie, Attack of the Rock. Coming soon. It'll be really, I saw it. I finally finished edit. I finally saw it. Like last year, John Goldstein drove me out to his Adam Piken's place, and we watched it now. Free pizza, free beer. Watched on big screen TV. First time ever seeing the full edited version of Attack of the Rock. I thought it was going to be like about 40 minutes. It's like an hour and a half. It's a classic, and it's coming soon on DVD, I believe. I'll keep you up to date on that. Okay, I'll see you.